A 5-year-old girl who was left in a coma 2 weeks ago following a car crash involving the son of Kansas City Chiefs head coach has woken up, a family source has confirmed. The little girl, Ariel Young, remains in the hospital recovering from the February 4th accident. Ariel is awake, wrote Tiffany Verhulst, who organized a GoFundMe to help pay for her. Verhulst did not give any information as to her condition. Young was injured when outside linebackers coach Britt Reed, the son of head coach Andy Reid, crashed his truck in. Britt Reed, 35, was involved in a multi-vehicle crash on the side of a highway entrance ramp near the team's training complex, next to Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Britt is no longer employed by the club. Share this article. Share it. Was initially reported that he had been placed on administrative leave, but ESPN's Adam Schefter has since reported that he was placed on leave through the duration of his contract, which has now expired, and he no longer is an employee. Reed has so far not been charged in relation to the crash, and police in Missouri say there are unlikely to be any charges forthcoming for at least. Prosecutors typically would like a completed case file in order to file charges or decline, depending on what the evidence would indicate. A statement. In cases like this that may include toxicology, crash reconstruction, witness statements and a variety of other related. We cannot discuss this case specifically, as it is under investigation and we do not want to We treat each case with respect regardless of who is involved. Britt Reed, who has been on his father's staff since Andy Reid arrived ahead of the 2013 season, did not travel with the team to the Super Bowl in Tampa. The team lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Britt Reed acknowledged to police he was driving his Dodge Ram truck that struck a Chevrolet Traverse. The Traverse had arrived to assist a Chevrolet Impala that had run out of gas, according to report. Reed's vehicle struck the Impala first before striking the Traverse, injuring 5-year-old Young, and a 4-year-old, both of whom were in the backseat of the Traverse. Young suffered life-threatening injuries while the 4-year-old did not, though both were transported to a. We remain in the process of gathering information on the incident, and we will continue to assist local authorities as requested, the chief said in a. Our focus remains on Ariel Young and her family. We have reached out to the family to offer our support and resources to them during this difficult time, and we will continue to pray for her recovery. Britt Reed's eyes were bloodshot and the officer smelled a moderate odor of alcoholic beverages, according to a police officer statement obtained by multiple media outlets. According to the search warrant filed after the accident, Reed reportedly told the officer he had 2 to 3 drinks and that he also took prescription Adderall. Andy Reid said Britt Reed, who was taken to the hospital with stomach pain after the crash, underwent surgery but declined to comment. Andy Reid said his heart bleeds for the young girl. My heart goes out to those involved, the family of those little girls fighting for their lives, he said after the game, according to the news. From a human standpoint, my heart bleeds for them. Andy Reid insisted the tragedy did not affect preparations for the game, and that the Chiefs' game plan was put in. From a human standpoint, yeah, it's a tough one. From a football standpoint, 2 separate things, he said. From a football standpoint, I don't think that was the problem. Reed did take full responsibility for the Chiefs' loss against Tampa Bay. We can't do the things we did and beat a good football team like that, especially. I could have done a better job putting guys in better position, Reed said. He added, it was a bad day to have a bad. Britt did not accompany the Kansas City Chiefs and his father as they touched down at the Super Bowl, flying into town a day before they faced the hometown Buccaneers. Britt Reed has been with the team since his father was hired by the franchise in 2013. The crash took place just after 9 p.m. on Thursday night on Interstate 435 near Eastwood Trafficway, close to the Truman Sports Complex where the Chiefs were wrapping up final. The police reported that a Chevrolet Impala had run out of gas and parked in the entrance ramp from Stadium Drive to I-435 as they called family to help. When family arrived, they parked a Chevrolet Traverse in front of the stranded vehicle. Britt Reed told police that he was driving a white Dodge Ram Laramie Sport pickup truck that struck the left side of the Impala as the driver tried to get it up and running. The driver had been in the car at the time Reed struck the vehicle but did not suffer any. The report states that Reed's rammed and continued to strike the parked Traverse where 2 children were sitting. Britt, who is reported to have previous DUI, drug and gun charges, is now being investigated to determine whether he was impaired at the time of the. According to a police warrant, officers could smell a moderate odor of alcoholic beverages from Reed when they arrived at the scene and noted that his eyes were bloodshot. Reed told officers that he had 2 to 3 drinks and informed them of his Adderall prescription. The warrant also states that an officer noted signs of impairment in Reed. This is not the first time Reed has had trouble with the law over potential drinking and driving. In 2007, then aged 22, Reed was sentenced to 8 to 23 months in jail, plus 5 years probation, on gun, and it came after he pointed a handgun at another driver following a dispute, according to ESP. Reed pleaded guilty to carrying an unlicensed firearm, simple assault, possession of a controlled substance and possession of an instrument of crime in connection with the incident. According to KSHP, Reed had been arrested again 7 months later and charged with DUI, controlled substance, possession of a controlled substance and possession of drug paraphernalia. His bail was revoked from the first arrest and he again pleaded guilty, receiving a sentence of 1 to 6 months in February 2008. Pennsylvania court records show that he was fined more than $10,000 for the 2 incidents in order to complete drug court, which he did in July 20. ESPN reported that as Britt and his brother Gerard Reed were sentenced following the first arrest in 2007, a judge likened their father's home to a drug emporium as he questioned whether the adult sons should live. At the time, Garrett, who was described as a drug addict and dealer, was sentenced after crashing into another car while high on heroin.